p.m.
Today, the Big Sexy Outdoors crew takes the show on the road as we once again head to Moore's Exotic Hunts. Hunt along with us as we enjoy good friends, cold weather, and big laughs. Only on...
All right, how you doing, guys?
Pretty good. You?
Good. So again, we have with us Brandon Deshane from BSO. We have Chris.
Yep.
Chris, I always do that. I'm sorry. I always point in the wrong direction, my
We're
friend.
in this way somewhere.
And we have special guest Justin Wertz and his daughter Charity, who is 7 years old.
Wow.
Charity's a little camera shy. Just a little camera shy. She's going to loosen up. I can see it. What do you think? She will. Look, she's smiling. She's okay. So we got I know we're at PSO, we got a few pictures back in the deer season of her killing a deer, and we'll talk about that. But I was super excited to hear. I got a picture sent to me Saturday morning. I want to say it was by like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I got a photo, and I was super excited. And, you know, we were trying to figure out how to go about tonight's show, and I was like, I know how to fix this. Let me get on. So Chris has some pictures you're going to flip through, but Justin, if you want to tell us, or Charity, you know, what got you into it together? I love it.
Well, it all started with she wanted to start going target shooting with me, so I bought her a 22 cricket, and Santa brought her a 22 cricket. I'm sorry, and then from there it was we went over and, you know, I had to help her do the normal things and teach her range safety, point the gun here, point the gun there, you know, never at anybody with it loaded, never at anybody at all. And then from there, it went from she seen the one gun that I had, so she wanted to scope on her gun. So now we have a 22 cricket with a 3x9x40 scope on it.
Nice.
Which, you know, she still shoots it. She practices with it. I bought a Ruger Precision 6mm Creedmoor, and that's, you know, it's good for a kid. It doesn't recoil at all. It's 13 pounds, and she reloads all that with me and my buddy. Like, she'll go over and she'll help us do the whole process and go out when we do the ladder test and everything like that. But I told her when it came up to deer hunting that she wasn't going to be able to go unless she could show me that she could shoot a 4-inch group. I don't believe I sent you that picture, but she ended up shooting, it was right around a 3-inch group, but the first 3 that she shot was touching each other. And I was like, okay, well, you're going to go. And she was all excited. And we kept practicing, and luckily reloading, you know, it still costs money, but it doesn't cost what it does at the store. So she probably had a good 100 rounds through the gun before she actually went out in the field. And my father actually went with, recorded that, forgot to turn the mic on, just kind of like the other one, besides, thank God we had the tactacam on. But she went from that day to before she just wanted to go out turkey hunting. And I told her she had to be quiet and sit still. Well, that ain't possible with a kid. So I ended up buying a couple of those Tideweave see-through blinds. And I bought her a 410 single shot Stevens, and she was over practicing with that last year.
I believe we have a video of that, right? We have a video of that. Her 410. Does that have a red dot scope 410, on? There we go.
It has a scope on it. Yep, it has a scope, and then it has the tactacam beside it. Yep, right there.
Nice.
So. But that was one of the first times she shot that. And from there, she, you know, we had turkey targets out there. She was plastering them every single time. And we said last year, okay, well, we'll go. I actually had a Longbeard walking up through the woods to me, and I seen it. It was within shooting distance, but I wanted it in the field for her, so there was no chance of, wounding it or anything like that. Then it ghosted us. We don't know if there was a hen between us or whatever. We know it didn't see us because we were in a blind. And long story short, for that, we didn't get it. Ended up asking her if she wanted to go to the next weekend. She said no, she wanted to go get a dress with her mom for her grandmother's wedding. So we said, all right, well, me and my dad went out and we ended up doubling up on 2 longbeards.
Nice.
And I don't know if you can see it. I have it on the wall, but they were.
We have a video of that as well, Chris. He'll play. You can keep going. He'll play it as we go. The video of the longbeard up on the wall.
Yeah, this is the one that Charity shot this year. Yeah, that right there. And she told me if she shot one this year, she wanted to get the same amount that I got, and I was, there's no way. But we've been getting them up on cameras, I don't want to say daily, but, we've been getting them quite often. And obviously we didn't have them come out. I've been going up. I went up a day before work, seen where they were gobbling at in the morning, and then just picked that back where we have our blind set up was the best place to go for her, and clearly we were successful. But she walked out the house Saturday morning. It was about 4:30, and she kept on saying how nervous she was. And what my kid didn't know is I was more nervous than she was, because I had to get a 7-year-old in a blind with a bunch of decoys, a gun, a tripod, and her. And I knew we were within 100 yards of these turkeys where they were roosting, so we had to be really quiet. And props to her, she was way more quiet than I was. So we got in the blind, and she said she was ready, and it was still dark. And I said, well, we got some time. So she took a nap. And when they started gobbling, she got real excited because they were close. And then, what was it, after daylight? I think she had that one on the ground. Yeah, she shot that at 6:45 in the morning. So we were walking out of the woods within an hour after daylight.
Wow, that's awesome. So they flew down right out of the roost almost within.
No, what I did was I did a fly down cackle, and he started really gobbling. He started triple gobbling, double gobbling, and that's when I stopped calling, because I didn't want him to think, oh, I'm going to get this to come to me, so on and so forth. So he ended up coming out within 15 minutes. He was in the field. And then it was another probably every bit of 7-8 minutes for him to walk across the field, because for whatever reason, and when I don't know if you can hear the audio on the tactacam, but she asked if I was ready.
Yeah, actually, that was probably my favorite part of this whole thing. Hold on, Chris, replay it.
You can hear in her voice that she is so nervous. You can hear her shuddering in her voice. And she counts down. I don't know if it was 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1. And I didn't hear her doing that. And then right after, when it flew off, we were down a little gully. When it flew off, she thought she missed. So I sat there, and in deer season, she turned around. I missed a deer, and my scope ended up being like 6 inches low. Well, she patted me on the back and said, "It's okay, Dad. We'll get the next one." And I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me. My 6-year-old is telling me this." Now, she had a birthday since then, obviously. So I patted her on the back and said, "It's okay, honey. We'll get the next one." And then I started laughing because I heard it flopping in the field. And I thought, well, I can't even do that because she shot it. And by the time that happened, she was out of the blind and I was running up through the field and I was right behind her. And when we got up to it, she was like, there it is, there it is. And you seen the wing. And I was like, you got it. And we picked it up, drug it down, and I looked at her and said, well, you ready for pictures? And right there's how she went right back there and did that all herself. So
You help me.
yeah, I put the gun down there. But
So, honey, I got to ask you if you'll answer it for me. How excited were you when you shot that bird?
a little louder.
When it gobbled and you heard it get close, how excited were you?
Very excited.
Really excited.
You should have seen her face. It was priceless. And like I said, I was nervous all week going to work, and I'm like, how can I make this easy for me, not carrying a bunch of stuff, because it was just her and I. And I took one of those big buddy heaters out just in case it was cold, because last year there was actually frost on the ground. So I just wanted to be safe, and the blind we're in is big enough that we can, put a bunch of stuff in it. But it was one of those deals of, I had 4 different decoys to take. I had to carry her gun. I had to carry my calls, and obviously her backpack with snacks and everything else. So here I am walking through the field, and I'm just like, here, you carry this. And I gave her a backpack, and she carried it. And I mean, she was a lot of help, a lot more than I would expect a 7-year-old to do. Like it should have been me, and she stepped up and she helped out a lot. But as soon as we got in the blind, she was just quiet. And then when they started gobbling, she was all about it. She wanted to go. And this year it worked out. I mean,
I was quietly excited.
Yep. Right before
Do you like getting up early? Do you like getting up early to go out? Oh, yeah, you like getting up early. That's the worst part for me.
Yep, I was actually up at 2:00 in the morning, and then I walked over. When I woke her up, it was right around 4:15, and she kind of like nudged me, and I just went gobble gobble, and she sat straight up and said, "Let's go."
That's awesome. I love when kids are excited to go. I think that's one of the greatest things in the world. So now we know you shot a deer, and we're going to show a picture of your deer, and I believe we have a picture of your grandpa walking in with a deer. I definitely want to show. I love that photo.
Yep.
But so far you shot a deer and a turkey, right? What's your favorite of the two before we move on?
Turkey.
And why is the turkey your favorite?
Because it makes the coolest sound.
Yeah, I have to agree. As much as I hate to say it, I have to agree. That sound that turkey makes is unforgettable.
I like it because they're there.
Well, that's the thing. A deer, you don't see that are right on top of you. You know, that turkey, from 200 yards, he's at least near you somewhere.
Yep. Now this is my 6mm Creedmoor. It's her 6mm Creedmoor now. But
she thought that was funny.
But what happened was I went and my buddy let me borrow his crossbow, so I went and got my archery tag. Now this land that we're hunting, there's only Charity herself. The rules are she has to shoot the first deer. Now, archery season was obviously before the youth hunt. Now I talked to the landowner, and she said, if you see a big one, go ahead, but I want your daughter to shoot the first one. I said, okay. So I took a crossbow out, and that's basically when I did my scouting. I noticed there was these 3 deer every night were coming up through the hollow and right up into the field. So I said to my dad, let's go out about 5 o'clock and we'll catch them, coming out. Well, it just so happened the day that we went up, they decided that they were going to harvest the beans. So we had a combine going through the field as we're sitting in a blind, and she was all discouraged. Well, I told her not to get her hopes, don't get discouraged about it. We'll try to get her one as quick as we can. The combine went up over the hill and 3 deer jumped out in the field. And I looked and said, well, there they are right on time. And I have one of those bulk death grips to put that gun in because it's heavy. And I told her, I went down, I got the deer in the scope. And I stepped back and I said, here, you know, you know what to do. You know where to shoot it. She said, all right, well, she's a perfectionist when it comes to shot placement, I swear, because she takes forever. And she looked and she said, Daddy, it's not in the scope anymore. So I went back down, excuse me, and got it back in the scope. And I told her, okay, there it is. You know what to do. I said, don't ask to shoot, just shoot. Like when you're ready, you do it. And I never shot the gun without earplugs in, and my dad never shot the gun without earplugs in. Well, when she pulled that trigger, we didn't have earplugs in, but she had ear muffs on, as you can see in the picture with her walking down with my dad. We thought our eardrums were going to be blown out. Like it was that loud. And the deer dropped, and I just went, great. Like I was super excited, but I blew my back out 2 days before this hunt. So now I got to, field dress this deer and drag the deer out. So it wasn't fun, but, for her, obviously it was worth it, way worth it. So, but you can see they're not wearing any orange. Her orange was actually in the blind. She was that excited, and my dad was too. The day just went.
They just took off. It didn't matter.
But like I said, at the point where we're at, there's nobody else within the general area of hunting. Like this is the first deer that was taken off this property that was known. Obviously, there's more than likely trespassers and stuff, but the first deer that was taken off this property in like 15 years.
Oh, wow.
So we started everything off with, we started predator hunting, me and my buddy, and got a couple more people into it with us. Well, this girl said that she was having problems with coyotes. So we went up and we only ever took one coyote off of it, but we should have had 2 or 3. But the first time we went up, my buddy's AR decided to play a trick on him and just misfire. But it's a part of the fun, Predator hunting's a great thing. A lot of people think it's a bunch of poachers, but when you go out and you do it once, it's like I'm hooked to it. Besides turkey, I love predator hunting more than anything. But definitely, she wants to go out coyote hunting, and I'm like, you're going to be in the middle of the dark, and coyotes are going to start howling and screaming, and you're going to be terrified.
She needs the fox season first. You got to get her some fox first.
Yep. Yeah, we have a bunch of them up there too.
She won't be so nervous in a couple fox. After that, she'll be broke in and ready to go. Because I'll tell you, I'm a grown man, and I still love shooting fox.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And they're actually harder than you think to shoot because they're so smart. They are so smart, it's not even funny. And they clearly see better than you do at night.
My favorite are the grays because they just keep popping out. Shoot, change a call, they'll come right back. We've shot 3 in one night already. You just shoot them and change the sound, and they'll just keep coming. If there's more than one, they're dumb. I don't know why, but the grays are dumb.
Now, the pictures that you're seeing now is the same night that she shot it. Now, when I field dressed it, I told her if she didn't want to see that, she could go over and stand by the backpack that we had and stuff. And she was right there for the whole thing.
I love that she's eating the sandwich while the deer's playing in the bucket. I'm not going to lie. I love that.
Yeah, we were going over to my buddy's house, and all she said was, I'm hungry. I said, you want Subway? And she said, yeah. And that's what she did. I said, you want your picture with it like this? And she walked right over with the sandwich in her hand, and
that shows what we're about, man, right there. Seriously, like that's us. I mean, we're like that. We just, you know how it is. Yeah. We have no shame in what we do.
Yep, we knew it was going to be a long night.
I've done that same thing. Eating a sandwich, put it on the deer, finish gutting, pick up the sandwich, eat it. You do it.
Yep. And she was with for the whole process from, the shooting to the field dressing, dragging, hanging it, skinning it out, and processing it. She was there for everything. Nice. And the one thing that I told her was, you're not just going to go out and shoot them, you're going to try it. So we made sweet summer sausage, and she tried it, and she actually really liked it. So her and I are the only ones that eat venison in the house. This picture here is actually, we went out shed hunting, and on top of that, we were scouting for where the turkeys were roosting. And she walked up on this, and I don't want to say it was this year's shed, but in that same general area where she found it, I hunted last year for sheds and there was nothing there. So I don't know if it might have came off late last year or early this year, but as we've seen, I think there's still deer carrying horns from last year.
Yeah, there are still some deer carrying horns.
Yeah, but I mean, she picked up the shed and we were walking down through and checking everything out, and then she found obviously this stream she just said she wanted her picture there, and I said, oh, so that's a really nice picture. So
it's a really good picture, especially with the water in the background.
Yep. So
one thing I see is she's always smiling. She must really love the outdoors. You like being outside? Do you like spending time with your dad in the woods? Yeah.
Yep. We this was actually last year's picture. That was the one where it was you could start hunting in the afternoon, and I still had a tag left, and it was miserably hot. And I told her, I said, this is why we only do the morning stuff.
I'm not a big afternoon hunter for turkeys. I won't lie to you. I'd rather hunt them in the morning and go home.
Yeah, they say if you can get them to gobble in the afternoon that you'll kill them, is what they say.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, I was out and I had 3 jakes come out. I obviously let them go, but it was one of them things where I couldn't believe I seen it, and it wasn't. But 5 minutes later, I had a coyote come and attack my decoys.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, that's the kind of problem that they have up there with anywhere with coyotes. But
yeah, I've never had that happen. I've had an eagle come down and take my turkey away.
That'd be awesome to see.
It lifted the whole decoy right up and flew off with it.
I've shot 3 or 4 coyotes over turkey decoys.
Yep. This is her helping reload. She's putting the primers in the brass.
Nice.
Well, basically what was happening here was I have a 22 Creedmoor, and I was prepping all the brass, and she asked what she could do. And I said, here, take this and you can prime all these. And I showed her, I think I had to show her like 3 or 4 of them. And then after that, she just went to town on all of them.
Sweet.
So
that's awesome. We took all your photos and put them up there.
This one
was a couple years ago.
It was a couple years ago. And I told her, I said, there's a gun that'll fit you. And gotta love Joe Biden with them pistol braces because, yeah, that's a 7-year-old shouldering a pistol brace. Or 5. She was 5, sorry. She was 5 years old, and it's like, you know what? If my kid can shoot a gun and be safe about it, she's gonna shoot a gun and be safe about it.
I freaking think that's amazing. I'm the same way. My kids, we shoot every chance we can. I believe in it. I support it. I think it's amazing. That's why when I said these pictures of Chris, I said, share them all. Share them all.
Yep. Yeah, that's just a normal 5.56 pistol. There's nothing special about it. But it just, and that's her cricket.
That's her cricket. Yep.
I sent that to her great grandmother, and she was in Texas at the time, and she flipped out on me because I got my daughter a gun.
Santa.
Yeah, Santa got her a gun.
Forget it. I was thinking about getting one of these for my little ones. How would you rate it?
Are you gonna put a scope on it?
No, we're just going out.
Get a 10-22 or something different. I am not a fan of the actual crickets because of the peep sights. Single shot, and every time you got to pull the thing back to cock it. If I could honestly do it all over again, I would just buy a Ruger 10-22 or maybe a Savage Rascal. But
they're not much more money, and you get more for it.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. The 10-22s, I think, are the best because if you get a takedown, one of the Ruger 10-22 takedowns, they have the threaded barrel on them. And if you decide to get a suppressor, you can suppress it and you won't even hear it. So,
gotcha. Thanks.
That's my thoughts.
So many cool add-ons for the 10-22 too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just customize the crap out of those things.
Yep. And that's the setup that I had for going out coyote hunting until I got my 22 Creedmoor.
I run all night vision and thermal.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. I was a little pricey.
I did it. I sold my kids dirt bikes to do it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was selfish. I sold them. They didn't ride them. Daddy wanted thermal. They're left.
I heard it's a game changer. I really did.
Oh, it is the neatest thing in the world. I can see a rabbit at 500 yards. A little rabbit. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I have Wicked lights. My buddy has Sniper Hogs, and pros and cons for both of them. We love
Yeah.
both of them. So
I've run a Wicked for my red tag stuff up here for past year, 2 years now, and I've always run it for the coyotes. So
yeah, their customer service is amazing. I have the ones that have the 3 different colors on them.
yep.
And I had 2 of them go bad on me, and they sent me brand new ones, no questions asked. And then
Really?
after the second one, they called me and they said, "Look, this is what we have to do." They actually sent me the 75 with the IR light on it.
Yep.
And they said that they fixed the problem, but that's the gun or the light that I'm going to have to use. And I'm thinking, where's the problem on that? Like, I just got an upgraded light that's
I
even
was just
brighter.
gonna say, you got upgraded by what, 60, 70, 80 bucks, something like that.
Yep. So I'm very happy with them. But we actually went down to the Sportsman Show a couple years ago and met with Sniper Hog and got their new 50 series headlamp. And that's ridiculous. Like, that is the best headlamp out on the market.
Huh.
It was great. Miss a pheasant at 5 yards.
He's over dramatic. It was bad, but he's over dramatic.
He might be over dramatic. How many of us have missed turkeys at 10 yards and shot them at 60? You know what I mean? Like, it happens on occasion, especially throwing little patterns out there.
This is the actual turkey I was hoping to get her, just because of that beard. It was unique. And this picture is literally.
It looks like a triple breed.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But this turkey is literally standing 10 feet in front of our blind right now.
Nice.
And, it was one of those, we're going to, what luck we're going to have. And then there's the video of the other longbeards that I have where one of them is dragging on the ground. There's multiple longbeards up there, but when that Jake came out, I looked at her and I said, "Hey, it's your choice." When we go out hunting, I don't make her choices. Like, she has one of my tags, and she is more than welcome to shoot whatever she wants to shoot as long as it's legal.
Cool.
And she told me she wanted to shoot the bird that came out, and clearly you see the picture. She is happy as could be.
Listen, that stuff doesn't matter. I say that over and over again. Especially when it's a kid.
Yep.
That stuff doesn't matter. That face right there, that's all that matters.
Yep.
No one will ever convince me otherwise. More than that matters.
Nope. And that, like I said, that's a single shot 410. And I had people telling me there's no way you're going to kill a bird with a 410. And I had people tell me that.
I got a question on that 410, actually.
Now, if you see the decoy that I have right to the left, that is roughly 10 to 13 yards. So I'm going to guess it was 2025. Now, when I patterned her gun, I was using the 2.5-inch small game load. What she shot that turkey with was the 3-inch TSS. And I didn't shoot that through the gun. So I'm guessing that it went from like probably a 6-inch round pattern roughly to a
3
softball. Yeah. So she made one heck of a shot on it. With me not knowing what the pattern looked like. She put the red dot where it had to go. And I got to say, for her, she doesn't flinch. I've watched her many of times. I've watched her pull her head. Like, she pulled her head, looked at me, and then pulled the trigger. And, we fixed that because my 22 Creedmoor has a 1-pound trigger pull on it. So I started letting her shoot that. And she didn't have the chance to pull her head. And she was hitting steel out at 200 yards, not even thinking about it.
Awesome.
So she does really good at that. And, we still work with her on different things. But she's your typical kid.
But she's smiling. And that's
she's having
I can't stress enough. I think all of us from BSO can't stress enough that what matters the most is that smile on her face. I mean, you're giving her something that a lot of people are afraid to give their children.
Especially with how the world is today.
I couldn't agree more.
people look at that gun and they think it's gonna, yes, in the wrong terms used, the individual is gonna hurt somebody that has the gun if they're messed up in the head. But my kid knows that, she doesn't touch these guns unless dad's with, or, if she's with one of my buddies and I walk over to the truck, as long as she's supervised by a responsible adult, she's more than welcome to do as she pleases, as long as it's safe and at the range or out in the woods with us.
Well, let's not forget, as a guy, an avid hunter, guy with kids and a gun, that you didn't give her either a semi-automatic here. I mean, you gave her a single shotgun, one shot. You're supervised. She can't hurt anybody. So anybody that questions that or takes that even in consideration watching this, there's your answer. Yep. I mean, everything about that says he made sure he knew what he was doing.
Yep.
So yep. I think it's great. Now, Charity, I have to ask this because I see it. When you shot that bird and it ran over the hill, he said you were a little bummed out because you thought you missed. Did you think you really missed bad? Or did you think you just might have hit it?
Just hit it.
You think you might have hit it?
Yeah.
So when did you realize you hit it? I got to ask. I need to hear from you. When did you realize you hit it? Mm-hmm. From him? Is that when you got excited and took off?
Yeah, she did the normal thing that anybody would do and come up with 3 or 4 different excuses of why. Like, it wasn't tight in the tripod. It was moving its head. It was this. It was that. And in the midst of all that, I heard it flopping. And that's when I looked at her.
She's going to be a great hunter. She's going to be a great hunter. Already making our future.
Yep.
So they say girls are better shots than guys. Charity, you think that's true? You think girls are better shots than guys?
Only me.
Only you. Okay, fair enough. But they do say that, and I can tell you that my daughter can hold steadier than I can. I mean, I'm 44, and somehow I gained the shakes in the last 3 years. And man, she holds that gun steady and can hit the penny. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? There's a degree down bottom. It's crazy because as I get older, I get less comfortable or confident. Where, these young ladies and women that come up into this and the better they get, they don't lose that. Mm-hmm. These women are just accurate. I mean, they are accurate. I've seen some women shoot a gun that have just impressed me entirely.
Is it accurate or is it persistent?
I think it's both. I think they don't like to see it.
It could be both.
And I think that they come with a natural steady. They come with a natural, I don't know what it is, but like when I watch my daughter shoot, she shoots different than me. I taught her how to shoot, but she shoots different. But she has this natural steady form. I mean, look at this. Look at yours. She has her back into this and everything. She knows what she's doing. Look.
Yep. Scary thought right there. No, I don't even remember. Like, she just said she wanted to go out shooting, and at the time I was just starting to reload with my 308, and I knew I wasn't going to let her shoot that. And then I was talking to a guy over at work, and he said about these Ruger Precisions. Well, I found one out at Grice's for half price, and you just can't walk away from that. So I went out, the gun, it's a budget-friendly precision gun, and I figured out whatever, I'll buy it. So I bought it, and then I put a Vortex Viper on top of it, and, they're nice scopes.
Absolutely.
Well, at 100 yards, you're sub MOA on them. And then it was like, what gun can I use that this one can shoot and it's not going to scare her? Like, I'm not going to put a 30-06 in her shoulder and say, here, shoot it, because she's going to flinch at everything. So I started out with the 22, and then I went to this 6mm, and it wasn't that she was afraid of it. I think she heard the bang, and that's what scared her.
They are loud.
They are. So I went on a 16-month wait, and I purchased a suppressor, and I screwed out on the back or the end of it, and you don't hear nothing. I mean, you hear a little bit of a pop at the end, a couple 100 yards out, but other than that, you don't need ear protection or nothing. So
yeah, that's a big thing on suppressors, even night hunting. I mean, the guys your house you're hunting in their field aside of them, they don't even know you're there.
Yep. That's where we go. A lot of places where, we go to a chicken farm, and the last thing you want to do is have one of those crack and then push all the chickens to one corner and they suffocate themselves.
Yeah.
Like, people don't think about a lot of that stuff, and it's like these night hunters are a bunch of what's and everything else. It's like, no, we actually have hearts for animals, even though we're out after them. So ever since I got this suppressor, I'm actually thinking about buying another one so we can keep them both on each gun. But
she looks like she's tired. Charity, are you tired, honey? No, I see you rubbing your eyes. Are we holding you up? No.
I wouldn't know anything about those suppressors. New York won't let me have them.
Well, they let you have oil filters.
That is true. That's
got a point. Got a point. I'm just saying.
I never tried screwing an oil filter on the end of a 300 Win Mag, but hey, there's a first for everything, right?
Yeah. That's what I like about the one I have. I got it from Silencer Central, and it's a Banish 30. I can go all the way up to a 300 Win Mag and all the way down to a 17 HMR. So,
what does one of those things run, roughly?
Well, for everything that I got, which was a baffle removal tool, the heat cover, the suppressor, the tack stamp, it was just shy of $1,500.
Damn.
So,
Damn.
But the nice thing about it. But with Silencer Central, they actually let my buddy go out as far as 6 months on payments. So,
oh, nice.
So it's not like it's, you have to pay this up front. Like, they take it out for payments, and then sometimes, I think it was Black Friday, did a special buy one get one free.
Oh, that's cool.
But
That's
I said, if you would ever be around somebody that's shooting suppressed, you'd want one.
Listen, I want one. I can't have one.
Well,
if I get caught with one, we're in trouble.
That's just in New York, though. You can have an address down in Pennsylvania.
I don't have an address.
We're gonna get along well. So listen, we promised these guys that we wouldn't keep them on more than a half hour. I've already reached 37 minutes, and that's my bad. Brandon, do you have anything you want to ask Charity or Justin before?
Yeah, actually, I'm very interested in your 410 shotgun. So obviously, is the length of pull on that for a youth, and do they make an adult, or did you chop it or anything like that? Or
no, I bought it as is. It came with the turkey choke for the TSS heavy shot.
Yep.
Came with a red dot. Her arms are a little short, but putting it in the bulk death grip,
yeah,
she doesn't have to worry about the reach so much. But as for like if I was going to shoot it, it's there's no recoil about it. It's actually a really fun gun to shoot. We were trying to shoot skeet with it 2 weeks ago.
That's cool.
Yeah, did you ever shoot skeet with a red dot?
I have not. No.
Okay, don't try it. It's terrible.
I was gonna say I shoot a ton of clays, but I've never tried it with any like peep sights or red dots or anything like that.
Yeah, it's probably best not to.
I couldn't see it going well. I'm not gonna lie to you. I couldn't see it going well. No matter how that worked out.
That's hilarious.
If you miss a pheasant at 5 feet, I mean,
come on, man, that's harsh.
Well, you can just wait until they land and ground swat them.
Wait till he told you it was sitting still.
Yeah. So with that, have you shot anything other than the TSS out of that firearm?
I've shot the Federal 2.5-inch small game load.
The game loads.
And that was actually pretty. At 25 yards, it had a nice group.
Yeah,
the pattern.
I've seen a lot of like controversy over this 410 craze with the with the turkey hunting and everything on all the public land turkey hunter sites and everything, and they're saying TSS is really what's put that gun on the map for turkey hunting, but I guess more or less I'm hesitant. I mean, I have so many 12 gauges, I'm not gonna go buy one just for turkeys, but I think it's a neat firearm. Yeah.
I think I looked at it this way. When I bought it for her, I had people telling me she couldn't do it, and that made me want her to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Now that she has done it, she can keep doing it, or she can move to a 20 gauge because I just bought her a 20 gauge.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I shot a 3-inch turkey load through it, and it thumped me for the 20 gauge.
Yeah.
So she's gonna be with the 410 for a couple years.
More to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I told a couple people that she was gonna go out with a 410 and hunt with it, and they were like, "That won't kill a turkey. That won't kill a turkey." And I said, "Okay, we're gonna kill a turkey."
Oh, I've got no doubt. I've got no doubt. It's the TSS controversy that everybody's going after. Well, I mean, what's the price of a box of TSS for that, roughly?
It's $8 a shot.
Yeah, way too much.
$45.
It's great.
You think that? You think it is, but I had the same box for 2 years now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're hunting turkeys, not ducks or geese.
Yeah, you're hunting turkeys, and if you're going to sight it in, you're going to use the game load.
Yep.
And that's going to be close enough where, like I said, for her, she killed it.
Yeah.
So it was $1 a shot with the game load, and then wait for that to put the TSS through for hunting season. But all in all, for anything else, for turkey, I'm running the XR Longbeards out of all my other guns.
Yeah.
They are plenty.
I've got friends that love them. I bought back when Federal made the Strut Shock 3.5s. I bought like 4 or 5 boxes of those, and I've had them for years. And I think I'm still on not on my second box I'm into now. So I still got 2 full boxes and a box and I don't know, 3/4 of a box or something like that. So I just using what I've got,
Yep. No, for anybody with the 410s, anybody can go out and kill a turkey with a 12 gauge or a 20 gauge.
Oh, heck yeah.
Get a 410 and get a bird within 15 yards of you. That's the fun part of turkey hunting.
Oh, absolutely. That's
not a 12 gauge where you can put TSS in it and shoot it at 90 yards. That's not turkey hunting. That's deer hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're right to that. You're right to that for sure.
That's what they say. Put your decoys out at 15, 20 yards, and get used to calling, become a good caller, and know how a turkey works.
Absolutely.
I couldn't tell you how much YouTube and Google that I go through just trying to learn new things. It used to be, oh, well, let's get as close as we can in the roost. And it's like, no, you don't want to do that. It was, we were close on Saturday, don't get me wrong, but that was by choice. If we're just going to go out and sit in the woods, we're going to stay about 150, 200 yards away from where they're at. And we're going to put decoys out and know that they can see the decoys.
Absolutely. Let them do their work.
Yep. But like I said, with her, I wanted to get close, and it couldn't have worked out any better. Like just how everything worked out, where the turkey came out. And like I said, it's like a 7-minute video of when the turkey came out in the field till she shot it. And the whole time, the only thing that I noticed that was wrong was I forgot to pull the hammer back on the 410 because I'm used to pump guns.
Yeah.
And as this turkey's walking across the field looking right at us, I'm trying to pull the hammer back. Clearly, we successfully did that.
Yeah, it worked. What's your average turkey setup? Like you're saying you want to set up 150, 200 yards. You hunt mainly fields, or you hunt hardwoods too, or?
Up where we were at, she shot her turkey the same place we got ours last year. It's hardwood down in the hollow, and then up into a wheat field. Clearly, they're roosting down in the hollow, and then from there, when they flew down last year, I was kind of hesitant because I knew what birds were down there because I seen them, and they had me frustrated where I took all my calls and threw them on the ground, and I said, I'm done calling.
They'll do that to you.
Yep, it wasn't not even 10 seconds later. I had 6 gobblers and 2 hens come out and completely demolished my Jake decoy.
Nice.
So the one that jumped on my Jake decoy, I shot that one. He was the one that I have hanging. He was a 26.5-pound bird with a 10 3/4-inch beard and 1 1/4 spurs.
Nice.
Good bird there.
Good, real good bird.
And then the one my dad got was It was a 10.5-inch beard. It was a lighter bird, and I think only like maybe an inch and an eighth spurs. So I mean, they were both mature birds. But
yeah, that's still a good bird. Nobody will take that from you.
No. This Saturday, my buddy wants to get one with his bow, so
that's a goal of mine with a recurve.
Yeah, no, I think he's gonna use a compound. I'm almost positive he's gonna use a compound, and I'm hoping we can get it done. Like I told him, I said I'm gonna take my shotgun because if it hangs up at 40 yards, I'm gonna shoot it for you.
That's the spirit.
I shot him with the bow, but I never shot a spring gobbler. I've shot fall turkey.
Yep, me too.
So I would be excited to even try that. That would be a cool thing. If I knew there were a lot of birds in an area, that would be a cool thing. Well, Charity, we're keeping you up way past your bedtime, dude. Are you all right?
She's gonna pass out on us here in a minute.
She's enjoying this. Yeah, we have at least, I'd say we have at least six long beards up there that we know of. So nice. It's not anything shy of. We know they're up there, and we can sacrifice a couple of them if we need to. Yeah. But once again, it goes back to predator hunters. We got to start killing some fox and coyotes so they don't kill the good game.
Got to start trapping them.
Yeah, I the job I have, I can't do that. I can't go up there every day and check that stuff.
That's my problem. I would love to do it. I just don't have the time.
Yeah. If I did that, my work hours are crazy, so I wouldn't have the time to do it. I'd love to, but I won't be able to go up every day and check them. So we go up guns.
Charity, would you recommend turkey hunting to anybody else? All them other little kids out there? You don't know? Would you recommend your experience to them?
You think they'd like it like you do?
Yeah. You think you'd recommend just taking some extra time to go out with their dad in the woods? Yeah, it's fun, ain't it?
He let me take off school one day.
Yeah,
that was always my kid's favorite part. I'm not gonna lie, Charity.
Yeah.
That was always their favorite part. They didn't care.
Yeah, last year, me and my cousin took her out, and the birds went the other way, so we went for supper or lunch.
That happens.
Yep. She's learning that you don't win them all.
Well, that's part of what this is. It's teaching them the goods and the bads and the ins and the outs, and that's part of being a mentor in this industry. That's what it is.
Yep, and like in that video, you got to realize that she's a kid, and the kids are kids, and as you could hear in that video, question after question after question, and I was okay with it, and she still got the bird. If she wouldn't have got the bird, she still got the questions answered.
Absolutely.
That's the whole thing of it. There's plenty of them out there, and she was just lucky at 7 years old to get her first one.
Yeah, I agree. And that's how they learn, bud. And I think you're doing an amazing job.
Yep. And heck, like I said to her, it was 3 years ago I got my first spring bird.
Nice.
Yep. And that was just a Jake. It came 400 yards, and I crushed my finger at work.
6 millimeter did the job.
What's that?
I said, and the 6 millimeter did the job.
Yeah, it wasn't that. but I'll tell you, if you want to try something different, try shooting a shotgun with your middle finger instead of your gun or your trigger finger.
No,
I crushed my trigger finger the day before, and I couldn't pull my thing through the trigger guard. So my first spring gobbler, I pulled the trigger with my middle finger, and it was the most uncomfortable thing ever.
I bet.
It was so exciting when it was done, though. It didn't change.
It was every bird that we've put on the ground, especially Saturday. I was about in tears. Like, I was so happy, and it was one of those things of, this is something only me and my daughter are going to know how this feels together. Like, nobody else was with. It was definitely a memory that I'll never forget.
Amen to that. That's how I always say to my daughter. I say, as many people as I can hunt with the world with, You're my hunting partner. When we go hunting, it's never the same.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's never the same. That moment.
Even if it goes wrong, you got funny stories from it with your kids. You know,
Yep.
I can remember times with my dad when I was a kid, a little bit older than her, 10, 11 years old. Couldn't carry a gun here in New York, but just some of the funny stuff that would happen to us, and it was like Elmer Fudd and his kid just walking around in the woods out there. It was just a good time.
Yep.
It was fun as heck,
Yep. You don't have to have plugs and stuff to put into your guns to make them work like you do computers, and that's one thing that I don't. She has a tablet. She watches YouTube. She grabs my phone, but if you open the back door, she'll go out back and she'll have a blast. She's into gymnastics. She'll do cartwheels all over the place. Yep.
I could do that. There you go. Sasquatch,
But listen, you ain't gonna see me do cartwheels, Charity. I'm just gonna tell you now, I can't do them. I tried. I've been trying for years. I end up falling on the ground and looking weird.
Here, she's gonna start doing them now. Yeah, the nice thing about where we hunt, I haven't taken her on public lands yet, and my cousin actually, I messaged him while we were sitting in the blind up there Saturday, and he said that he had a guy literally in the spot that he's been in for the last 5 years with his kids, and this guy was literally walking around the public land just calling, trying to get a bird to gobble, and he was upset about it, and he's the one that got me into turkey hunting as much as I am, just by telling me different things to do and whatnot. And I was half tempted to say, hey, just bring your kids up here with me, and I'll go to a different blind or whatever. But that was after we got hers that, I sent him a picture and he's like, oh, awesome. You should see what I'm into. And it was just one of them things. If it was my property, I'd say, come on up here and, no questions, but it's not my property, so I can't do that. So
respect for the avid hunter goes a long way, and it doesn't exist anymore. That's part of the problem. Yep. I've had somebody take over my daughter's tree stand this year, so I get it.
Yep, and that's why I won't. I mean, I want to take her to public land, but I know we're safe where we're at. There's nobody that's going to be there, and if they are, we're going to know it. So,
well, that's what.
I think probably your best bet is cherish those early years, like now, on the private land and whatever, and build her up until. The public land can be an experience and not always a good one, when it comes to other hunters and things like that. So better off up that spirit than going on from there,
Yep.
I think we lost Brandon. But so we are at 53 minutes, and I promised you 30. So I broke my time barrier by 23 minutes, and I am so sorry.
I want to stay on for an hour.
Yeah, if she wants to stay on longer.
Oh, well, all right. Well, we're okay then. So tell us something you want to tell us about hunting.
You want to tell them about Oscar?
Hmm?
Want to tell them about Oscar?
I don't know. This
All right. So up where we hunt, there's this one deer. And I told her that it was the only deer that I would shoot. And here, I'll give you an idea of what deer we have up there. I don't know if I can.
Oh, wow. That's a dandy.
So that's one of them. And he's actually one of the smaller ones. Now, let me find him.
He has a million pictures on there.
This is the deer that we call Oscar.
Yep. I see him good. Holy moly.
So I told her that was the only deer that I was going to shoot.
But you didn't.
If I seen him. Now, I seen him one time at the end of the season, if I can find it. And right there he lays.
Oh.
I took the picture from my truck.
Get out. Did he end up getting hit, or did you get him?
No, I didn't get him. I was actually leaving because I had to be I forget where I had to be. I had to be somewhere at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I told my wife I'd be there. So I texted my buddy when I was leaving. I said, "What would I do if I seen Oscar when I was leaving?" And he just, he goes, "What would you do?" Well, I drove down the road, and right in the hollow, I looked down, and there he laid. So I took a picture of him, and I said, "What would I do?" And he just said, "Go home, huh?"
Oh my Lord, I might have cried.
Yep. But like I said, I at least got to see him. But we seen a nice one up there the first day, but it was just across the property line.
I'll
And
walk you up.
I've said hundreds of times I'm going to teach her the legal way. And if it's across the property line, it's going to walk. It's not worth it. So I left a very nice deer go, and I won't let her shoot or me shoot. But like I said, she's going to learn the right way. And that's just how kids need to be taught anymore. It's about ethics, I think, and she likes it, don't you?
I couldn't agree anymore. I think if you're going to teach them, we got to teach them. My daughter always says, "Oh, Dad, but we could have shot that one, or we could have." And I said, "Yeah, we could have, but the road's over there. We don't shoot in that direction, or and there's certain scenarios that you just teach a kid that aren't right. It's wrong, and you don't want to see them in trouble later in life. You know what happens, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what happens is when you fall in love with something as much as hunting as I know I do, and I can see you do, the last thing you want to do is do something to jeopardize it.
Oh, especially after you got permission like that property we have to hunt right now. It's me, her, my dad,
And
my buddy, and his son are allowed to hunt that property. And clearly, if we go, we all go together. Or vice versa, like him and I will go, or me and her and him will go, or like we know where everybody is. And to shoot a deer on the neighboring property's land that I don't have permission to shoot or hunt, and him to go up and raise a complete ruckus with the landowner is going to lose my permission for her.
See, I agree. That's what I said. I went through that this year.
Yep.
So I had a 150 class or bigger. I mean, this thing was a monster. We were watching it through the rifle scope. She could shoot a doe. I didn't shoot a buck yet, but she already shot a buck. He ended up on a public land, shot a 5-point. And we were watching this we thought was a doe. I seen the body go, and I said, "Empty your gun, lift up, look out, and see if you can see what that is." She looks out. She says, "Dad, it's a doe." I said, "Okay, put a bullet in." Well, by that time, the doe went over the bank. So she looked back up. I said, "Look up, make sure it ain't there anymore." When she looked up, the horns, I mean, the thing was like this. Now, I didn't shoot a buck. I'm calling the farmer on the phone trying to get permission to shoot at him. But the bottom line is I had all these guys saying to me, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you shoot it? Shoot it and drag it. He'll never know. And I said, why would I jeopardize something I have so great for my daughter?
Yep.
If you watch some of the videos we shot, she has 40 deer in the field at once. Why would I do that? Like, why would I jeopardize it? My daughter is the only one that has permission to hunt that. There is no way I would jeopardize that for my daughter. It's just not for a big buck. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it for any animal. It's about her.
Yep. And I have a picture. There's I think there's 6 buck in one picture, and 2 of them are chasing after each other and whatnot. And we know there's a lot of deer up there. Like you said, why jeopardize it for them?
I can't shoot a buck. At least you can shoot one. I can't. I'm allowed to kill a doe. My daughter's allowed to kill a buck as long as 8 points are bigger.
Oh wow.
Well, he manages pretty hard, and his kids hunted as well, so he has his own set of rules. It's even his kids can only shoot 8 or bigger. And
no, the nice thing is next year when the license come out, she'll be able to get her own tags for the mentor, and she'll be able to draw a doe tag too. So she'll have all her own tags that she can pick the buck that she wants to shoot if one comes out, and if it's a spike, then so be it. But I told her up there, knowing what was up there, we picked one deer and said this is the one that we want, and we both said about it, and I think it taught her patience, and you don't have to shoot everything that moves. Like when I was up there for archery hunting, I watched. Well, I mean, I was taking pictures of deer and sending them to friends, and they were like, "Why are you not shooting these things?" Just like, I want my kid to shoot them. I'm out here scouting, and if a big one comes by, then I'll do it. But we set everything up for her to be successful. Wasn't worried about ourselves.
Well, when God blesses you with a beautiful spot, that's the other thing that your daughter has. You take advantage of that. I mean, if you're seeing that many buck, you know you can kill one. It's better to let her get hers first and then worry about you. I mean, that's what we do as dads, isn't it? Isn't that part of being a dad?
Yep, that's what I said to her. I had seen what was up there, and I was like, if I fill a doe tag, I'll be happy. They all taste the same. I mean, I don't have to have a trophy on the wall to fill my freezer. So
same. I always say the same thing. I can't eat the horns. My jerky comes from the meat.
Yep.
But guys, we're gonna call it. I'm gonna thank you very much. We hit our hour mark, so you're happy, Charity. I got you. You're happy. I'm happy. We try to stay within the hour. We're all good. I can't thank you both enough from coming on and giving your story.
Yep.
Charity, I wish I could have got you to talk more, though. We're going to have to talk about that a little bit. We're going to have to get you to talk.
I don't want to.
Yeah, it's okay, honey. You didn't have to.
When she gets her big buck this year.
You didn't have to. I'm just glad you showed up on screen with them. I appreciate you sharing your pictures and your stories, and I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. And Justin, you keep up the good work. Keep being a good dad, a good mentor, and doing what you're doing, because it looks like the love you have is definitely being shared through the blood.
Yeah, I hope it continues. She enjoys it, that's for sure, and I hope the other one likes it too.
Yeah, I think so. They see you two bond. I think you'll have nothing to worry about, brother.
Yep.
So I appreciate it. I got a caller winner yet tonight. I'm going to let you guys go. We're going to call a chair winner. And have a good night, guys. God bless you all.
Yep, you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, all right. That's ugly.
Yeah, it is ugly. So I have
that was pretty fun. I enjoyed that.
That was a lot of fun. I wish he would have talked a little more, but we have that happen.
You got it. I mean, yeah.
I've seen it happen. The fact that her dad came on and told her story and she sat there, I was just as happy as anything else. Mm-hmm. All her pictures have them smiles just showing how happy she is, spending her time with her dad and what she's doing. I think it's fantastic. But Chris, I'm going to take over screen sharing real quick.
Do you remember how to do it this time?
Absolutely not. I never do. Just bear with me.
You have tech issues? I'm not sure that's going to happen.
Well, that's just me. You're going to have to live with it. Any chance you can?
Like they said, till the wheels fall off.
Okay, I believe that one's it. Give me a second. So,
I actually had 3 birthdays since you started doing this.
I believe you. Can you see that?
I got you.
All right, you can see it?
Yep. Now this
all
is
right. This is for the chair. So everybody commented on. I picked the wrong one. That is not it. This is. So everybody that commented on the chair and tugged 5 people, these are all the people. This is who tugged. And we're going to give a chair away right now.
I better hear a drum roll. Are you going to hit? Did we lose you?
So there's your winner. And I believe they are from Virginia.
It didn't spin here. We don't see that. No, we don't see that.
Well, that stinks because I have a winner.
You're on the wrong tab then.
Well, that stinks. I apologize. The good news is the wheel did its job. Give me a second. I'll show you.
Yeah, show me the tab. Yeah.
All right. There. Oh, wait. Why is that doing that? All right, let me get out of this tab. Let me get out of that one. Can you see that?
No, you don't. You're not sharing anything.
Yes, I did twice. I am not the tech guy, so everybody knows. Can you see that?
I got it now. Patricia Ball.
There you go. I am not the tech guy. So, Patricia Ball, you have 30 days to contact us.
Yep.
If it's not in 30 days, we just add it back to the wheel and someone else will get a chance at it.
Yeah.
All right, sound good?
Well, yeah. You
I
heard what
was
else
pretty good.
happened. You heard what else happened, didn't you?
What's that?
We got over 301 we got over the 300 subscribers on the Big Sexy
Oh
Outdoors YouTube.
no, I didn't.
You know what
I
that
forgot
means?
about that.
You know what that means?
It means you got to give away a brow hook.
Yep. So how about we bring up that other big wheel of sexy and we pop this puppy up?
We're gonna add that to the wheel.
Yep.
All righty, give me a second here. Exit full screen. Here's the wheel. Oh, I got rid of that other wheel. Hold on, I gotta find it.
You do make me want to drink.
I did. Listen, I was having major technical issues. I am not the dude. All right, I just want to point out that I am not that guy. I was having some major issues, and guess what? I lost that wheel, so I will add it to the
We'll
wheel.
add it on then. We will add it on then. Yeah.
I promise I will add it to the wheel.
Yeah.
I am technical illiterate, and that's why Chris does all that. But I appreciate them guys getting on. I thought that was really cool. Especially her video that we got to share her video, her killing that first turkey. I thought that was awesome. That's
and you could hear her asking the questions. Like, should we do it? Are you sure? Are you sure?
dude, when he sent that, I bet I watched it 6 times before I forwarded it to you. Just I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. All right.
But,
well.
All right. So brow hooks added to the wheel.
Yep.
And tonight's episode is done.
We're gonna call
Peace
it a
out.
day.
God bless. And I'll see you later.